you may have never thrown a player or manager out because of what a fan said, but you can check that off your list now because you did.
Ooh, we got an ump show to continue today.
Steer right.
There's so much good content, but also frustrating content from that game yesterday that was going on while the show was happening. Hunter Wendelstedt threw out Aaron Boone in 5 minutes, literally 5 pitches. He thought he said something. He didn't say something. And I don't think anyone in the dugout said anything. You cannot throw managers out for fans yelling at you. Umps, take notice. Post-game, Hunter Wendelstedt said, "I'm super, super sorry. I effed up. Please forgive me and don't punish me." That's a lie. That's what he should have said. Now let's read what he actually said. Our friend Jim Bowden added to the context here and said he needs to be suspended without pay for 1 game for his actions and lack of accountability for his mistake based on his post-game quote. And this is the quote that Bowden was referring to. Apparently what he said was there was a fan right above the dugout. This isn't my first ejection. In the entirety of my career, I have never ejected a player or a manager for something a fan has said. I understand that's going to be a part of a story or something like that, but that's what Aaron was portraying. He's the manager of the Yankees, so he's the one that had to go. Bowden ended that by saying, just unacceptable response. He needs to check the tape. And if he checked the tape, Kratz, what would it say? And what should his boss be telling him right now?
Well, you may have never thrown a player or manager out because of what a fan said, but you can check that off your list now because you did. There is undisputable evidence. And I hope he comes out today and says it. I hope he comes out today and is like, my bad. I missed it. Maybe at the time when they interviewed him after the game, good for them for interviewing him. Good for him for making quotes. Bad for him for doubling down if he did, kind of like Chad Fairchild did earlier, like, well, if we're talking about a replay here, I'm talking about how I called it on the field. Like, it's okay. Like, we live in this era where we have film of it. We have video of the fan yelling and you rabbit ears snapping over and being like, "You're done, Booney." Booney was like, he was like AJ said yesterday, he was like, he's checking his nails. By the way, when Booney comes on, we got to ask him, who checks their nails like this? Don't check your nails like that. That's how you check your nails.
Oh, you got to fold.
Yeah.
Listen, I actually know Hunter. He's a Florida guy, Daytona Beach guy, so I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon. You guys have pretty much already summed it up. But, yeah, it was just a bad look. And his comments, they weren't good either, but shit happens. And it's just again, it goes back to what we kind of talked about yesterday. It's such a microcosm with social media and everything. And, if you watch the whole clip, you can see why Hunter would get confused. Because, the guy literally was right behind Aaron Boone, and he yelled, "Come on, home plate," or something. And Boone was actually arguing with the guy at first, John Tempane, about the check swing. Because if you actually watch it, I think it was Estuary Ruiz got hit, but he actually did swing. So I understand why Boone was upset, but I don't know. Again, we talked about it yesterday. It's like we can go back and say, all right, my bad. I screwed up. You know what, Boone? You can stay in the game. And then he says one more word, and then you can go, oh. But I don't know. It's just a bad look. It's kind of funny, though, because it's just funny watching, a fan get a coach, manager ejected. So now watch out. All you coaches, players in the dugout, fans are going to be rabid, and they're going to be just over your shoulders just waiting for the next guy to go, hey, you're ejected for, oh, wait, the guy behind me.
Yeah, but that's going to happen again unless there's accountability. But you need to blast him a little bit more. It's one thing if he messed up, but I'm saying you need to blast him because he didn't apologize. Just man up. Just say I messed up.
Maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he didn't see the video. I don't know.
Say something. Right. Give me something. He spoke to a pool reporter after the game. It's not like he didn't speak. He's like saying it with his chest, doubling down essentially.
Yeah. Kratz, do you ever have a teammate you played with that would like yell behind another guy? Where he'd be like, "Hey, umpire!" and he'd be like hiding behind a guy.
No,
is that a thing?
We would always be one do this and be like, You stink. Hey, that was me. That was Ranger. And we'd like do a different accent, or like a Spanish speaking guy would do American accent. He'd be like, "Hey, dude, you stink," trying to like mimic other guys, but never behind somebody when
Oh, yeah.
it was a serious situation.
My favorite one was when we had Paul Molitor. I think he was our hitting coach, I think, or he was one of our coaches, and we were in Cleveland. And whoever, I think it was James Hoy behind the plate, and John or one of the Hirschbecks was umping first. And we were getting squeezed a little bit on the Twins. And Molitor runs out from underneath in Cleveland and throws a tee on the field. Whoo! Chucks it on the field, and then ran back down the steps in Cleveland like nobody saw it. He goes, you should just let him hit off that. And then he ran back down the steps, and Hirschbeck went down the steps and like, you're out of here. In the middle of the game, it was unbelievable.
Into your dugout?
Into the dugout, down the steps where the little, the tunnel in Cleveland. He went down the steps and was like, "You're out of here! I saw you, Molitor." Woo! Chucked him out.
Like he had an invisible jacket on or something. Like
nobody was. Yeah, like he had Harry Potter, the invisibility cloak. I promise I'm up to no good. And he's like, "Woo!"
Well, let's show an ump's best friend, the scorecard. Were we unfair, or did he perform poorly? And the survey says he performed poorly. He's really good at calling balls. He's really bad at calling strikes in yesterday's game. 68% is not acceptable. 68% called strike accuracy. That is really bad. That's popping up too frequently. I'm sorry. I know we're bringing this up. It's become a segment for a reason. It's taking over right now. And yes, AJ, I agree with you. It's getting accentuated because of the way that media and social media works nowadays. But I also genuinely think that people want change. They at least want a challenge system. So when it's so far off, we can be like, ding, you're wrong. We keep the challenge. Let's move on.
The catching coaches are going to sit here. Yep. That's coming for sure. The challenge, the tap the head. But the catching coaches for the Yankees and Oakland are both like, "Oh, great job, you guys. You guys did so good. Look at how good your score is at manipulating the umpire. You made him think that every single one of the pitches to the one side of the plate, Hunter must have had his like one eye closed and he couldn't see that side of the plate." Like, to me, hey, Hunter, you missed this entire area. Next time you have Jose Trevino, maybe take a second look at those. Maybe shift a little bit. Maybe move a little bit more towards the center. Maybe he's out of position. Who knows? But there's ways to get better at it so that we don't have to go to the challenge system.
Thank you. One more for Ump Show today was from your game, AJ. Mike Estabrook.
Good to see some fight out of the old White Sox. Gavin Sheets, happy birthday today, too, by the way.
What a birthday present.
Can you paint the picture, being that you were part of the game? What happened here?
Well, Gavin Sheets got rung up on a pitch to end the inning. It was borderline. It was probably a little bit low. Sheets got run immediately, very quietly, though. The only reason I even knew he got run is because when we're doing the game, we have a camera that stays on the field the whole time when it goes to commercial. And you just kind of saw Estabrook go like that to Sheets. And then Kevin Pillar had to come in like the ninth inning or bottom of the eighth to play right field. But then Pedro, like 30 seconds later, after he realized Sheets, he like comes out there and he gets him and Mike Estabrook get into it. And, Laz Diaz, the crew chief, came over and, I was expecting Pedro maybe to throw a hat or do something. He got a little bit fired up, but like, dude, you're 3-19, bro. You're losing 7-0 going to the ninth inning. Like, I don't know, pick up home plate, what did Lloyd McClendon cover it with dirt? I don't know, do something. I don't know.
Something to fire the boys up?
Try, right? I don't know. It was, he got ejected and he was yelling and screaming and doing this and that. But, you got to, that's your cleanup hitter. That's the guy that's been your best hitter all year. Like, it was a ball. He's got to, I don't know. In my opinion, you got to go. That's when you got to go. He did get thrown out. I give him credit for that, but that's one of those times. Listen, we're 3-18 at the time. I don't know. There's a lot of frustration built up at that point, right, Kratzy?
There's definitely frustration, and you love to see your manager back you. But as AJ Przinsky once said, I don't need my manager to get thrown out for me to play better. So maybe that wasn't the maybe that's not the answer either. Maybe you and Griffel are on the same page in that sense.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.